Okay, welcome back to the H&T show. We're going to be covering stage 10, the analysis of stage 10. It was a pretty straightforward stage, not too much to go by, but we're going to break it down for you. We're going to give you a little bit of our thoughts on how it went and what we think was interesting about the stage, where we think some riders might have made some mistakes. So sit back, relax, and see what we have to say. T, stage 10.
Well, stage 10H, like we said, we knew that it was going to be down for the sprinters. They did a real good job. Two guys in a breakaway again from early, unfortunately being caught with about 10 k's to go, but with the small amount of stages still for the sprinters to take, you wouldn't expect a breakaway to stay away. We saw the guys really get to the front. Nice easy ride for Froome in the yellow jersey again. Never an easy ride, but a controlled ride. There was nothing to panic about. You know, they still had to do their work. You saw them in the right spot at the right time, always being vigilant, but it was going to be down to the sprinters. Quick step team, quick man, 400 meters to go, out he comes, the best speed out of anyone in the bunch, and he takes an easy victory. He actually stops pedaling before he crosses the line to put his hands in the air and give the victory salute.
Yeah, so complete daylight between him and any other sprinter. Just shows the superiority of Kittel at the moment in the sprints. Just a quick one. McEwen, one of the commentators at the tour, was talking about how those last two left-hand bends were going to be crucial for the guys lining it up. Lotto were doing the right job. From kilometer 8, Lotto on the front, all 7 of the guys on the front doing their job. It was clockwork. It looked like it was going to be set up for the Gorilla Greipel, and yet Robbie McEwen again is going, yeah, but Kittel's so far back, Kittel's so far back. Backing him, he can sprint, he can come from anywhere, but saying that at some point Kittel's going to lose it because he's playing such a big cat and mouse waiting game. Lotto exposing themselves, putting themselves on the front, and yet we find those two crucial left-hand bends. What goes down there in that last sort of left?
Well, that last left-hand bend, you know, it's ideal to have your sprinter coming into that last bend up near the front. You're protecting him. Nobody's going to come around him. You can actually use the barriers to stop guys from sneaking up through the other side of you. The big problem I think that we're having at the moment is it's all down to confidence. Kittel is supremely confident at the moment. Greipel yesterday was quoted as saying, you know, if I'm going to take Kittel to the sprint, I need to actually be on his wheel. I need to be following him. Where was he 400 meters to go? He was 7-8 riders ahead of Kittel.
Yes.
Now straight away he's got this doubt in his mind. Where's Kittel? You know, my lead-out trainer's done the good job.
Looking around for him.
Looking for him, but it's confidence.
Yeah.
It's confidence. If he was 100% confidence on his sprint at the moment, he would use that lead-out trainer of his that did a perfect job.
Yeah, you can see the hesitation from Greipel. They come out of the corner. He's perfectly positioned. All he should be doing right now is absolutely screaming his lungs out at his guy to just go full bore so that he can offload him, so he can let go and just absolutely open up as hard as he can. Don't worry about the others behind you. Do what you have to do. Try and get to the line first. You don't wait for somebody else to open up the sprint. You saw how badly he got caught out there. When Kittel had opened up the sprint, by the time he came past Greipel, Greipel was boxed in first of all, so he had to try and get around everything. And then at those speeds, you can't make up 10 or 15 meters with 300 meters to go. It's over.
Both powerhouse German sprinters. Kittel's 4th stage win of
number
this
4
tour. Kittel's 13th Tour de France stage win now. And I think he now leads the record in stage wins for a German.
Germany, yeah.
And there's a lot of pressure on the Gorilla. Right now, the Gorilla definitely lacks confidence.
It's just plain to see that at the moment, I think the pressure's starting to get to him. He's putting his whole team on the front, and then come the part where he now needs to lay it down, he's completely lost as to what he needs to do. There was an incident. I think it was about 10 k's to go.
7.3, I think it was.
7.3 kilometers to
I know
go.
what you're going to say.
There's an aerial shot. We spot a bit of a boxing match going on the right-hand side. Now, I'm all for a bit of aggression. It's all good, but it's got to be within... It's got to be within the scheme of things. You don't want to be completely malicious about it. You can explain exactly what happened there.
Look, you're either a bike rider, bike racer, or you're a boxer. If you're weighing 70 k's and you wear lycra pants, don't fancy yourself as a boxer. Okay, so Buani, who we saw
Ex-boxer.
a while ago, fancies himself as a bit of a boxer. You know, he can throw the fists around a little bit. In fact, he damaged his hand a while ago, punching a door in anger or something.
No, it was a punch-up.
Well, he punched somebody and he actually damaged his hand and he was off the bike for a couple of weeks. So he really fancies himself as a boxer. Whether he should be in the Tour de France bunch, maybe you should try and go back to the square ring. We saw him with
Bauer?
We saw him with Jack Bauer.
Jack
Now,
Bauer.
Jack Bauer is actually a bit of a bigger guy than Buani is. If we think back a couple of years ago, we used to have Robbie Hunter. You know, Robbie Hunter, a boy who grew up on the West Rand. He wasn't scared to throw a punch. He could take it. I remember many years ago, Commonwealth Bank Classic, after a stage, a Kazakh rider coming to the hotel who'd had an issue with Rob in the bunch. And yeah, next minute I came running out to the passage and the Kazakh rider was like in a pile down on the ground. And Hunter had given him one shot and that was the end of the argument. The Kazakh team manager came and spoke to me the next day and he asked me, who's this Robbie Hunter? So I pointed out Robbie to him and he looked and he said, oh, Robbie Hunter, my guy? My guy on the floor? Never. So that would have been Buani's case. I think Jack Bauer is a bit bigger. It's going to be very interesting to see. 7.3 Ks to go. There is that rule that you don't take your hands off the handlebar. Different when we're crossing the line with a victory salute.
Yeah.
That's allowed. But you don't take your hands off in the middle of the bunch, in a sprint. He took his hands off and he actually punched Bauer.
Yeah, he took a swing.
Okay,
Yeah.
he took a swing at him. Are they going to DQ him?
I hope so.
They've set a precedent with the Sagan Cavendish incident. They have to stand by that, don't they?
Have to, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. You know, if we look at Sagan, he actually didn't even take his hands off the bars and he got a DQ. This guy, that shows even more intention. He had one thing in mind and that was to punch him. There was a DQ a few years ago from, was it Villamos?
Yes.
That was DQ'd as well, taking his hands off the bars. Guys, that's part of the rules of cycling. You do not, under any circumstances, take your hands off the bars. And when we say that, we mean it in a malicious way. You can take your hands off the bars to take your bottle out, or take your hands off your bars to show signals to riders. But if you're doing that, clear as daylight, there's more than enough footage for them to have a convincing sort of verdict on this. And I feel he should be DQ'd, and I hope we see that in the morning.
But yeah, this does happen. It's not the place to happen. No. Sort it out in the hotel afterwards, like Hunter did with the Kazakh, and you're okay.
Yeah, do it when there's no cameras, back in the hotel room, get your little square ring there, fight it out there, tomorrow morning come out and do the racing. GC side of things, no change over there. Com jersey, no change over there, and white jersey stays on the shoulders of Simon Yates. So no real shuffling there. Just a quick one with Marcel Kittel's dominance in the sprint so far. How far is he leading the points jersey by?
He now leads by 98 points over Matthews.
Yeah, well, there you have it. That was our analysis of stage 10. Hope you guys enjoyed some of the interesting bits that we spoke about. We'll catch up again soon.